Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight. One person is dead and two others are now in critical condition after a head-on collision in Spokane Valley. Thanks for joining us here for KREM 2 News 10 at 10. We are giving you more news in less time, and we're working right now to confirm the details of that crash. At this hour, we have KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk live at the scene. Kyle, what can you tell us right now?
Well, Whitney, Spokane police and major crimes detectives are on scene here investigating. This area is going to be shut down for the next several hours as they investigate and try to piece together exactly what happened here. Police say a white sedan was heading westbound on Alki when it lost control and hit a pickup truck head on. One person in that sedan died at the scene. Two others in the car were taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Here's Spokane Police Sergeant Terry Pruninger.
The truck has significant front end damage, but again, the driver was able to walk away and he was treated here at the scene and has been released. The small white sedan, it did significant damage to the car.
So again, out here at the scene, one person in that sedan dead, two others taken to the hospital in critical condition. As you heard Sergeant Terry Pruninger say there, the person in the pickup truck was able to walk away. He wasn't feeling the best, obviously, but was able to walk away. He has since been cleared. Police also tell us that they were talking to some witnesses, and while it's all preliminary, they say that the sedan was going at a very high rate of speed, possibly 2 times the speed limit in this area. Obviously, detectives are going to be trying to find video, find witnesses, and try to figure out exactly what happened out here. Whitney, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Also new tonight, one man is accused of luring at least 2 women to secluded areas, then sexually assaulting them. Deputies say 23-year-old Jackson Parrott met the women outside of a downtown Spokane gas station. They say he then convinced them to get into his car and go to the valley. Detectives released these mugshots saying they believe there could be other victims out there that have yet to come forward. Parrott, they say, was driving a Chevy Equinox with a red strip down the hood. Potential victims or anyone with information is asked to please contact the sheriff's office. Now on to a developing story tonight. A third suspect accused of making threats to LGBTQ students at East Valley High School has now turned himself in. 2 students were already arrested last week after those threats were made. Police deemed them serious enough it shut down the entire East Valley School District that day. According to Spokane Valley Police, that third suspect was out of town at the time of the threats, but then returned and turned himself in at the public safety building. The suspect was immediately taken into custody for threats to bomb or injure property, which is a felony. Former President Donald Trump is back in Florida tonight after he was arrested and charged with 34 felonies in Manhattan this morning. Supporters were on the ground in South Florida tonight to welcome him back. After arriving back at Mar-a-Lago, Trump invited hundreds of supporters into his Florida estate to hear him speak about the charges and the investigation. Coming up here on KREM 2 News in just about 10 minutes, we'll have a full breakdown of what he had to say tonight. Right now, nearly 2 tons of cocaine have been seized off of the Pacific coast of El Salvador. It was all part of a 23-day mission carried out by the country's Navy using submarines. 3 people were also arrested in connection to all of those drugs, and according to authorities, the haul is worth more than $30 million. The Finnish flag rising alongside the NATO member flags today, signifying the countries now officially joined the alliance. That move is a major blow to Russian President Vladimir Putin. It will double security on Russia's border and also means Europe's post-Cold War landscape is realigned. Some dramatic footage out of Missouri tonight showing the moment lightning struck a parked truck. Officials say the strike cracked the truck's front and back windows and damaged the inside as well. It also blew off a nearby manhole cover straight off of the street. No one was inside, fortunately, at the time. A deputy, though, that was standing nearby said they're incredibly lucky the fuel tank wasn't hit. All right, back here at home, looks like we may be in the home stretch of some colder temperatures, at least for a little while, and we'll just take baby steps right now. Our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, joining us for a quick look at the rest of this week's forecast.
All right, well, let's think of it this way. It continually gets harder and harder each day for us to be as cold as we have been. With a higher sun angle and longer days, we just warm up way quicker. So when you see a temp fall into the 30s, yeah, that's not too crazy, and when you fall back down near freezing right now, that's not completely out of the ordinary, but it is quite difficult to do atmospherically. Right now, we're watching everything kind of wind down across much of the region. Even some of those heavier bands of snow that set up over Lookout Pass and dumped more than 2 inches of snow in a matter of just about 25 minutes. Those have all wound down and kind of worked their way out of the region. We'll continue to watch things just kind of lighten up tomorrow. It's mostly sunny skies taking us through a good chunk of the day as we wait for our next round of showers to move in. That starts creeping its way across the state. Thursday, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the low 50s, and on Friday, we'll see those widespread showers return. But what I would like to point out is that it is likely we fall into the 20s the next 2 nights. And by Friday, we kiss that goodbye, and we likely wake up to temps above freezing as rain returns to the forecast. And that warm up just continues into the weekend.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced the state has purchased a 3-year supply of an abortion drug called mifepristone. This comes as the nation is waiting to hear the results of a case in Texas that could ban or potentially restrict the pill. Today, Governor Inslee said he will continue to fight restriction efforts despite the outcome.
Washington State will not allow a judge in Texas to deny the right of Washington women to this safe drug. We will not sit idly by. We have to recognize these threats will continue, and our actions will continue to preserve the right of choice in the state of Washington.
This purchase would provide about 30,000 doses of mifepristone. Governor Inslee says the shipment arrived in the state last week. Governor Inslee also sent a letter to Idaho Governor Brad Little addressing the abortion trafficking bill. It now sits on Little's desk and it is awaiting his signature. If signed, anyone who brings someone across Idaho's borders for an abortion can be criminally charged. It reads in part, as the governor of a neighboring state, I am deeply concerned about the impacts that EHB 242 will have on Washington residents traveling to and from Idaho. I fear that our residents, in particular the women and girls of Washington, will be in grave danger if they travel to your state and find themselves in need of urgent reproductive health care services. Big changes are coming to Post Falls. The site of the former veneer mill is now the Millworks development. It's bringing hundreds of new housing units, a hotel, restaurants, and local shops to the city center. And as the community continues to grow, this project is a welcomed addition.
This type of development is exactly what we're looking for in this area of town, being able to provide, again, options to housing types.
Right now, crews are finishing up work on the first residential phases of this project. When all phases of construction are complete, this 32-acre site will be similar to Spokane's Kendall Yards or Riverstone in Coeur d'Alene. All right, now to Nightbeat with a quick look at the day's other top stories. Governor Jay Inslee signed Senate Bill 5272 today, authorizing the use of speed cameras near highway work zones. WashDOT says in the last 73 years, 60 workers have died on the job. And while they're no longer with us, their deaths, he says, serve as a constant reminder that more can be done to make work zones safer. WashDOT Communications' Joe McHale says the cameras are a win for both worker and driver safety.
We've seen examples of other work zone cameras in other states, and driver behavior does change. People do slow down, and there are less injury-related collisions or fatalities.
And according to this new legislation, the camera will photograph the car and license plate if a driver is going too fast in those work zones. The bill will go into effect on July of 2024. Coeur d'Alene will soon have some smoother roads to look forward to. The City Council recently approved nearly $700,000 in a contract to chip seal some of the roads. Chip sealing is what prevents further cracking and can extend a road's lifetime.
In a perfect world, chip seal should be done every 6 to 10 years to treat the road. We have not been able to do that, so we look and see what we can salvage as far as the condition. We want to try and get more life out of the roads. The development, the area we've looked at is pushing 19 years old.
So whatever money is not used for chip sealing will then be used for other work, such as filling in potholes. The work is set to begin in June. It should take about 3 months. Faulty construction at the Spokane Valley City Hall building is causing that building now to sink into the ground. And City Council is going to have to be meeting at the Center Place Regional Event Center while a new contractor works to fix that problem. The work could take the rest of this year, meaning that some city meetings will have to move. Members of City Council, though, want everyone to know you can still come to those meetings in person at Center Place or online. And that was your Night Beat. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, just text the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone.